Hi guys, welcome back to another video and welcome to my channel if you're new. Hi, my name is Femke and in today's video I wanted to share with you how to do a super easy but extremely elegant and kind of like classic chevron French manicure. It is really easy to do. The only thing you need is of course a polish or two by colors of your personal preference. You will need a little brush, but you can also just easily do this straight from the brush that comes in the bottle of course the color you have chosen. And yeah, I just wanted to add a little bit of bling to it as well because you know I love my bling. And yeah, I really hope you will like it. And of course, if you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comment section down below. I love to talk with you guys, hang out with you guys and help you if you have any struggles you can't get past. And always remember, doing nail art is definitely a learning process, trial and error. Don't be scared or disappointed or held back when something doesn't work out for you the first 10 times. Just keep on trying and practicing and I'm sure you will get the hang of it. But if you're new to my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, I would really appreciate it if you would like to do so. Hit that notification bell as well and become a part of my little nail family here at YouTube. But thank you guys so much for watching on forehand. I love you so much and I hope to see you in my next video as well. So let's get into this video, but first of all, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you and I really hope you like this video as well. I will be sharing my tips and tricks to actually do some really cool chevron nail art. Of course, you can definitely switch up the colors if you feel like it, but of course, always remember to start off with clean nails and a good layer of base. But as the kind of like natural looking kind of polish, I'm going in with one by Sally Hansen. I just got this one quite recently. It's called Tutu the Ballet and it is pretty much a one-step polish, but of course you guys know me, I always apply a base first and I would highly recommend you guys to do so as well. And before going in with your colored polish, make sure that your base is completely dry to prevent any like bubbling from happening or maybe smudging and just messing up the entire manicure. Because if there is still a wet layer of polish underneath, it can definitely mess up the entire manicure because the polish isn't fully dry and hardened out yet. But of course, just apply your neutral or natural shade to your personal preference. I just chose to pick one which is still a little sheer to make it more of like a negative space kind of design. Of course, you can pretty much grab any colored polish, whether or not they are sheer or maybe you want something really opaque. You could even go in with a glitter or a pearlescent or anything like that as your base color. It really doesn't matter. As I tend to mention in a ton of my nail videos, I always say that there are no rules to nail art and at the end of the day it is just nail polish and you can remove it with a little bit of nail polish remover or acetone or anything you personally like to use. But after your first coat is completely dry, maybe you want to apply a second, but be sure that one is completely dry before going in with your chevron tips. And I am going to use the color Soko. This one is by Zoya. It actually is a super beautiful red polish, but for some reason my camera always has difficulties with different red tones and makes it look a little bit pink, but trust me, in real life this is like the perfect Christmassy or kind of like cherry / Christmassy red. It isn't like a deeper like Christmas blue undertoned red. It has a little bit of more like a fresh look to it. But what I like to do, especially or advise to do, especially if you're just starting out with nail art, is just to grab a dotting tool or maybe even a toothpick and put a little bit of the color polish that you're going to use for your chevron French design and just put a couple of dots on the outside of the nail, like the side edges, as well as the center where you really want it to have the pointy chevron effect. That is just so you have kind of like guidelining spots to really help you figure out where to place the brush that you will be using to actually shape the chevron shape, I have to say. One thing I really love to do is just to dunk out a little bit of polish on one of my resin plates. You can use anything as a plate, to be honest. I just have this plate because it's really easy to remove, and just load up your brush and start connecting the dots, to be honest. This is the most easy way to do a chevron French, of course, next to the fact that there are always like those guiders or guide kind of like stickers. Personally, I don't like using those because the chances are kind of high to mess up your base layer whenever you're working with stickers or tape or anything like that. And personally, I still need a ton of practice with doing hand painted designs because I do get the shakes a lot because of high blood pressure and stuff like that. So yeah, if you are like me and you want to practice a little more, this is the way to go. Just grab your supplies, grab your brush, load it up with some polish, and just slap it onto your nails. Of course, don't be scared to make mistakes. We are all human, and especially if you're just starting out or you're like me and you want to practice a little more on hand painting, just take your time and just work with it. And of course, if you mess it up, just remove it and start over again. Practice makes perfect, so please don't be too hard on yourself if the lines aren't perfect for the first try, because you know, I've been doing nails and nail art for such a long time. I get the shakes so badly and so often that I still mess up like every now and then. But you know, just remove it and start over again. We all have a learning process here, and definitely share your tips and tricks as well in the comment section down below. Then another method is just to wing it, like straight from your wrist. Just slap those lines on there and just fill it in with the same brush as you used for the lines. If you don't have brushes like these, you can use a dotting tool as well, or maybe you have some like art brushes that you can kind of cut some bristles off to make it a smaller brush. But other than that, I got most of my nail art brushes from AliExpress because there are so many to choose from. They are really easy to get by and they are so inexpensive. Of course, if you treat your brushes really nicely and clean them off like every time you've used them with like soft chemicals, like not a really harsh one. I really wouldn't dunk this one into acetone because I'm sure the bristles will fall off or anything like that, but you can definitely use some non-acetone nail polish remover to remove any excess polish. But yeah, just use whatever you have handy, or maybe just go onto AliExpress or whatever nail art supply store you have near you and grab some brushes. Of course, if you really don't have any like options to get tools like this, you can always apply a Chevron French manicure straight from the bottle and the brush that comes in that particular nail polish color. Of course, it is a lot easier to work with that once the brush isn't super wide. So maybe you do have some polishes, maybe you don't tend to like them as much because they have quite a narrow brush, but polishes like those, or especially the brushes, are perfect to do a nail art like this if you don't have any additional tools. One tip that I would like to share that I just showed you here is to clean off any excess of that red polish, or at least the red polish that I'm using, that has gotten onto the skin or maybe the cuticle area or anything like that, because reds are very staining, especially to nails and skin. So make sure to remove any excess polish, or maybe you just bumped into your cuticles. You never know, stuff happens. Just clean it off right away. Just do so. It takes like a couple of seconds, and of course I have used my angled brush for that, but once again, just use whatever you have handy or laying around. You can use a Q-tip or something like that to remove any excess as well. But yeah, of course you can also just draw in the Chevron French line and fill in the rest of the tip with the brush that comes with the polish. I've shown you that a couple of times in this video so far as well. Once again, there are no rules to nail art, so just apply the polish the way you like. But this is pretty much how I do this French chevron design, and of course it's no problem if the lines are a little squiggly or not straight enough. Practice makes perfect, and the same goes for me, even though I've been doing nails for so long. But yeah, I really wanted to add a little bit of bling to some of the nails. First of all, I was like, I want to do all of them. But then I was like, okay, Femke, hold your horses. Don't bedazzle the crap out of these. So I just decided to place one little red gem to the center of the chevron line for the thumb, the middle finger, as well as the ring fingernail. So what you can do, or at least something that I love to do, is to adhere my gems or crystals, or however you want to call them, with a little bit of top coat. And I'm using a top coat by Orly. I'm pretty much liking this top coat. I do feel like you have to apply a little bit more product to each nail to really get that beautiful glossy finish. And one thing that I would really like for you guys to keep an eye on, especially if you're using a very bright, highly pigmented color to your tips like I did in this video, make sure you're not dragging your polish. But if you are dragging your polish a little bit and some of the red is getting into the lighter part of the nail, which you will see in a little bit, I will mess it up completely, as you can see here, for the ring fingernail as well as the pinky. Just clean off your top coat brush, pick up a little bit more of that top coat, and just smear the red smudge off. It's really easy, but key is to work fast. If you notice any smudging or smearing of the brightest color that you don't want to like have lingering around on the nail plate area, just work fast with the tip that I just shared. But yeah, this was pretty much the entire tutorial video how to do this chevron French manicure. It is really easy to do. Of course, if you have any flooding of your top coat onto the cuticle area or onto the skin next to the nails, make sure to remove that as well. I just quickly removed it with my other fingernail, but of course you can remove it with a Q-tip or a brush or anything like that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you liked it. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, please let me know in the comment section down below, or just say hi and let's talk a bit about nail stuff or whatever you'd like to share. But thank you so much for watching. I love you so much, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos as well.